Pregame.com.
Tuesday night baseball, we've got Arizona traveling to Atlanta. It's the Battle of the Hudsons, and I'm going to be on one of them, so I'm going to take Hudson to win this game.
Every time we do a video, we either got New York against New York, Chicago against Chicago. This is how you're able to win these games.
How do you think I've survived 30-some years? Brian, seriously, with this game here, we've got two teams that entering the season off of what they did last year. Both teams overachieved last year. I mean, people thought Atlanta would be a good team, but I think we didn't think they'd be as good as they were last year. Nobody saw Arizona being as good as they were last year. You got to think now, going into this year, both have been a little bit of a disappointment so far. What do you think?
Yeah, they have been a little bit of a disappointment, and what's really shocking from the Arizona side is they're starting to play good ball now, but yet their two best hitters are having down years. So in watching Arizona play lately, they're playing very good ball as of late.
And I think right now, as far as Atlanta's going, if you look at the surface, it looks like Atlanta's not playing good baseball right now. You know, they've been a little losing streak back there, but they're 4-9 their last 13 games. But if you look a little bit deeper and look at the competition that they've played, I think Atlanta's going to be kind of an undervalued team maybe for the next couple weeks because they played the Interleague schedule and their draw was the AL East. And let's face it, that's probably the best division in baseball. They had to play the Yankees twice, Baltimore, who's been a super surprise this year, and play Boston, who's playing much better now than they were at the beginning of the season. So you look at that record of 4-9, you say, oh, Atlanta's, you know, stinking up the joint, but the level of competition was really good.
Yeah, it has been, and we'll find now. I, for one, I'm glad this Interleague is over. I've never done well in the Interleague, and once again, I proved it once again this year. So I'm just glad to get that out of the way. It'll be interesting next year. Houston goes over to the American League. They're actually going to play more Interleague games next year, but it's going to be one game at a time as opposed to the entire schedule. For example, you know, Houston going over there, it's an odd number of games, so there's always going to be at least one Interleague matchup at a time. So they're actually going to have 20 Interleague games next year, but for handicapping purposes, we could just ignore those games and just stick with the American and National League, and that's what I plan on doing.
Always thinking ahead.
Well, you got to get the winners. If you can eliminate a subset that you're not winning on, that's great. I mean, you talk to any handicapper out there, if you don't chart your favorites, your underdogs, your homes, your aways, and find out what your weakness is, and eliminate that, that's how you really jack up your winning percentage.
It's good thinking. Just to dig deeper on that, though, just for a handicapping sense, do you think there's something fundamentally with it, or is it a mindset with you now with Interleague play?
Well, it could be a mindset thing. You never know. But a lot of it is, you know, the American League, we've talked about this in the past, they've got the big advantage with the DH. The National League doesn't. Then you also have American League hitters or pitchers who never hit. I mean, a lot of these guys have never hit in the minors. They've never hit since high school. And all of a sudden they go in there, and if you watch some of these guys when they actually step into the batter's box, it's kind of funny. I don't even know why they bring a bat up there, because some of them have no idea what they're doing. They're better off just standing there.
Kind of look like you and me at the plate.
It probably would, yeah. Chances are, though, our guts stick out far enough we can get hit by a pitch, so that would help the team.
Any way to get on base.
There
it's
you
all
go.
about getting on base.
Engelbert from Bad News Bears theory.
I could picture you on the Bad News Bears. All right, looking at this game, as I said, I do think Atlanta's going to be an underrated club right now, and I expect them, now that they're back at home, to get on a little winning streak. And you know one of my theories, I don't like taking a home team first game back. However, if they had a day off before they started that first game back, it kind of voids my theory of, you know, you got to get home, get settled in, you know, do the family things. They had a day to do that. We're taping on Monday. Atlanta doesn't play. They start this series on Tuesday, so I'm not worried about them being the first game back at home. So I'm going to go ahead and look at Atlanta here. Arizona starter Daniel Hudson, he's been shelled in 2 of his last 3 starts. I mean, he's been hit hard, and not real powerhouse teams on the surface, Seattle and Oakland, although they have been hitting the ball a little better than lately, especially the A's. But I just don't trust him here against Atlanta. Atlanta starter Tim Hudson, he's put 3 good starts in a row together, and I think he's the more consistent pitcher. I'm going to look to him to get the job done here. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree that Tim Hudson is the more consistent pitcher. But Daniel Hudson, you take a look at his starts lately. On the road, he's been very good. Last 2 games on the road, he's given up 2 and 3 runs. He and his teammates as a combined effort. And when he's pitched at home is when he's gotten rocked, 12 and 8 runs. So we kind of touched on this before the video about Arizona's ballpark. It carries pretty good. You're getting into the summer parts now where a lot of the ballparks are carrying very well at this time of the year. So it may just be the situation. I know Arizona plays and it don't, but regardless, that stadium plays a whole lot different than a lot of the other parks in the National League. So I think I give him a little bit more credit when he pitches on the road. But if I was to play anything in this game, which I'm not, I would tend to lean towards the home team.
Well, I'm going to take Atlanta. We're projecting the line to be 140 and 8. I really like to see it at this number of 140. I'll go as high as 150 because, you know, at 150, you know, that's my cutoff. You know, I don't like to lay, big favorites in baseball. So 150 would be the max there. I think Atlanta gets this one. And watch the Braves over the next 7 to 10 days. I think you're going to see this team run off maybe, you know, a 7-3 mark over the next 10 games. And I think they're going to be a little bit underpriced. Get them before Vegas readjusts them again. And it's all about finding value. All right, guys, there you have it. That's going to take care of our first video. I'm going with Atlanta on Tuesday night over Arizona. You can lay it up to 150. We're going to be right back. We're going to take a look at Dodgers and San Francisco. Big series out in the Bay for the National League West here on pregame.tv.